no idea what I'm doing, but I've never let stupidity or inexperience stop me before. Let's get fisty! I have sap in my nose beard. Okay, I think we're at the point where I can explain to you what is going on because I didn't know how well this would work. So, welcome to Build-A-Bear Workshop at this point. The idea was to do a chainsaw carving bear from a log that I had harvested almost a year ago. But my chainsaw, I have an electric chainsaw as you saw, and it just isn't great. So we went from a chainsaw carving to a power carve situation. I bought this a while ago for the intent on doing this. So I plan on starting with the chainsaw, then going to power carving. Instead, I'm just power carving everything. This is just something that I've always wanted to try. Always wanted to try a chainsaw carving, and now here we are, and I'm doing it. So I'm gonna continue on trying to make this thing work. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. This is gonna feel really weird to do, but I don't know another way. That felt really weird to do to a bear. So I'm actually really happy / content with how this bear is looking. So I'm going to change over from the chainsaw attachment thing mubajig on the grinder. I'm going to switch over to, I believe it's called a rasp. Hold on. I only wanted one of you. Change over to a rasp so I can kind of do a little more detailed work. This is another thing that I've never done. I like all these one times with you. You guys are just popping cherries left and right. First of all, let me just say, when I said let's get dusty, and I mean, I'm not even nearly as bad as when I did the initial real carve, but I think I'm actually about there. I know this video is really not a lot of much just me doing stuff, but there's really not a lot to do besides what I'm doing. So anyway, so I think I'm about happy with that. I try to get a little shape in the face. I got some eyeballs, a nose, a mouthy mouth. Well, and then the chest, I think this area came out really well. 2 little arms. Now, I'm actually going to cover up these little arms areas right here with a welcome sign. So I've known, because I've done some research on carvings and stuff, so I realized that I was going to have some cracking issues, so I got a crack that runs down here, which I'm not that upset about, because when I was drying this wood out, it cracked here. So I figured that would kind of stay the cracked area. So I don't know what to do about that, but it's in the back. So anyways, I think we are about ready to start putting some color on this bad boy. Okay, so this might not go very well. But what I'm going to now attempt to do is I want to see if I can add some depth to it with some fire. So I'm going to try burning some areas and see if that helps make it pop before I start finishing this. I think I'm going to remove some of the sawdust from around the base while I burn, because I feel like I'm not doing something smart at this moment. Now, I know I said the plan was to just burn to add depth, but I'm like a small child when it comes to a torch, so I did a lot more, but I do think it actually did benefit somewhat, especially in the face area. Okay, so it is time to make my bear look like a bear. And I'm going to do that using some English chestnut color. The cool thing about this is it froze during the winter, so it literally just looks like a can of poop. So I stirred it up the best I could. I'm going to make this bear look like a bear. Alright, so we're about to finish this bear up by putting a thing of sealant on it. Please, when you watch me put the sealant on, don't mind my socks and flops. Don't judge me. I just came out for a real quick first coat on the bear. So I am using this for a sealant. Now, if you see it as an exterior sealant, and if you read the application, it says that a minimum of 3 coats is recommended. Now, if you're wondering why 3 coats, it's because I live in Michigan and it gets really cold out, and they don't want my bear to get cold when it is in the exterior. I apologize for the joke. I hope you at least smile a bit. So, I'll just make you watch me put the first one on. So let's get the first coat on the bear. Alright, the first coat is on the bear. My wife's gonna love that joke. For real, I'll put some sealant on it though. Dang, Pooh Bear, where's your honey? How you doing, girl? She looking good. So, this was my first attempt at a power carving. Well, actually, it was my first attempt at a chainsaw carving and turned into power carving. But this was my first attempt, and I've learned a lot along the way. It was a journey. Now, I'm glad I could take you on this journey with me, but let me explain to you the things that I learned. First of all, what do you think of the new shirt? Second of all, I learned that a battery-powered chainsaw is kind of a terrible idea for a chainsaw carving. You can come at me with that one, but my Cobalt 40 volt was terrible. And then I also learned that it makes a massive mess. My old Winnie the Pooh Bear here is about 8 to 10 gallons worth of sawdust, and that's not to mention all over the workbenches, all over the toolboxes, everywhere. So luckily my son has a Traxxas, and if you don't know why that's luckily, because he obviously needs money, because we own a Traxxas. So he's going to hopefully come in there and clean this up for me. So there's that plus side. But you make a huge mess. I would highly recommend, if you were going to do this, do it outside. And also wear some safety protection, because, man, I probably sneezed out $45 for the lumber out of my face. And speaking of face, man, that hurts. So I would also get a face shield and not wear a sleeveless shirt, because that was a terrible idea. Like I said, I learned a lot from doing this, and I'm really stoked with how this thing turned out. This thing was actually supposed to sit right outside the shop door, but my wife and kids actually like it so much that she gets promoted to front porch. So that's where she's going to sit. So, thank you guys for watching. I know this video might have been a little more boring, but I hope you guys enjoyed it because I sure had a lot of fun making a huge mess. And I'll see you guys on the next one.